Modern life rushes by like a swift current. Each day, people are swept into the whirlpool of work information and expectations until they forget the most essential thing to keep their mind at peace. Amid the noise of the world, what we truly lose is not time, but our inner stillness. Buddhism, with its timeless wisdom, is not only a path of spiritual liberation, but also an art of living where one learns how to remain calm even in the midst of turbulence. The Buddha never taught that one must escape the world to find peace. He taught us to find peace within the world. For peace does not lie in avoiding the waves, but in learning to keep the mind steady while sailing through them. When the mind is unguided, it is easily dragged away by anxiety, anger, and desire. When the mind is untrained, even the smallest disturbance becomes a storm. But a mind trained in mindfulness is different. It is like a still lake. No matter how the rain and wind strike, it continues to reflect clearly. That is why the Buddha said, "The greatest victory is not over others, but over oneself." In this age, when speed and competition have become measures of success, the art of mastering the mind is more precious than ever. This video does not discuss lofty philosophy. It is an invitation to return to simplicity, to apply Buddhist principles that can be practiced today for a more positive, peaceful, and joyful life. From keeping a clear mind, cultivating gratitude, caring for the body, challenging oneself, setting balanced goals, to nurturing joy, these are small practices with transformative power. They teach us that happiness is not something to pursue, but the natural result of a mind that has been trained. If the outer world is a river constantly changing, then the inner world is the boat that determines whether we drift or stay steady. And the Dharma is the rudder of that boat, not forcing, not binding, but guiding through awareness. When we understand this, every challenge in life ceases to be a burden and becomes an opportunity to strengthen the mind. For life doesn't need fewer waves, we simply need to learn how to row. And when the mind is trained to stay steady in every breath, every moment, then even in a changing world we can still smile because we've found the truest refuge, the peace within ourselves. The mind is the source of all emotions and actions. The Buddha once said, "The mind precedes all things. It rules and creates them." When the mind is bright, everything around us appears bright. When the mind is clouded, the world feels heavy. Thus, keeping a positive mind is not about painting life with cheerful colors. It's about purifying the way we perceive it. Mindfulness is the key that opens that gate, the ability to live fully in the present moment, to see every thought and emotion clearly without being controlled by them. Imagine your mind as a garden. If you plant seeds of worry, they grow into fear. If you plant seeds of positivity, they bloom into joy. Many people feel exhausted not because life is too hard, but because they've let their mind become overgrown and untended. They forget that they are the gardener, and mindfulness is the tool that helps them cultivate that soil each day. When you pause to notice your breath, to feel your footsteps, to listen to the sounds around you, you are planting seeds of calm in your mind. Mindfulness does not ask you to escape life. It teaches you to live deeper within it. When you eat, you truly taste. When you listen, you truly hear. When you see, you truly see. In that moment, the past no longer pulls you back, and the future no longer pushes you forward. There is only the present, pure and complete. And in that very place, positivity takes root. For anxiety always lives in the future. Regret dwells in the past. Only peace exists in the present. Many people think positivity means forcing a smile or ignoring problems. But the Buddha taught that positivity is not denying the darkness. It is seeing the darkness, yet still choosing the light. When you live mindfully, emotions no longer control you. You can recognize, this is anger, this is fear, and then let them pass without clinging. That ability is the foundation of a steady mind, a mind that knows how to see, to release, and to choose what is wholesome. Practicing mindfulness is simple every day. Spend a few minutes just breathing, feeling the air enter and leave. When you work, focus only on what you're doing. When you speak, listen with your whole heart. Gradually, awareness becomes a habit, and positivity becomes your natural response. Because the mind no longer runs away, it rests in this very moment where every ordinary thing becomes precious. To stay positive through mindfulness is to master the art of living like the sun. It doesn't have to try to shine its presence alone, dispels darkness. When your mind is bright enough, your life changes not because circumstances have changed, but because you have changed the way you see. And that shift is the beginning of true happiness. Gratitude is the root of happiness, for when your heart is filled with appreciation, there is no room for dissatisfaction. In the Buddha's teachings, gratitude is not a ritual. It is the highest state of awareness where one realizes that everything we have is a gift of causes and conditions. Every breath, every drop of water, every smile we receive comes from countless hands, countless interwoven factors. When you truly see this, you stop demanding more, and instead begin to live more deeply and appreciate every moment. The Buddha taught one who is grateful is one who has understood the Dharma, because gratitude opens the door to compassion and gives rise to a joy that naturally blossoms from within. The ungrateful person sees life through the lens of lack, always focusing on what is missing. The grateful person sees through the lens of abundance, always recognizing what is already here. Two people can live in the same world, yet one suffers while the other feels peace. The difference lies only in perception. When you wake up and smile simply because you can breathe and see the light, you have already begun your day in blessing. You don't have to wait for perfection to feel grateful. Gratitude itself makes everything more perfect. Gratitude is not only directed outward but also inward. Be grateful to your parents for giving you life, to those who have helped you, and also to yourself for the courage and perseverance that carried you through so many trials. Be grateful even for difficulties, for they make you stronger. Be grateful even for loss, for it teaches the value of love. Gratitude does not erase suffering, but it transforms it into the substance that deepens and softens the heart. Practice gratitude every day. Each morning, quietly say, "Thank you for giving me another chance to live today." Each night, write down 3 things. You're thankful for a good meal, a kind word, or a peaceful moment. As you repeat this practice, your mind gradually shifts from scarcity to abundance, from demanding to appreciating. This is the most silent yet powerful form of transformation. A grateful person is never poor, for they live in the feeling of fullness. They do not search for happiness elsewhere, because happiness has already bloomed within them. Like a lotus rising from the mud, gratitude allows us to shine amid the busyness of life, not because we escape suffering, but because we find meaning in even the smallest details. Let every thank you become as natural as your breath. For when you are grateful, you are truly alive. And when you live in gratitude, you are already happy. Throughout your life, you will hear countless words: praise, blame, affection, and resentment. But one voice holds more power than all the rest, the voice inside your own mind. It follows you everywhere and can lift you up or tear you down with a single phrase. The Buddha taught right speech not only to guide how we speak to others, but first and foremost, how we speak to ourselves. Words don't only create karma in the external world, they leave imprints in the inner one. The way you speak to yourself becomes the way you see life. If each day you criticize, compare, and deny yourself, your mind will wither. But if you learn to speak to yourself with compassion, you will awaken a quiet strength within. Many people believe that being harsh with themselves is the path to improvement, but it's not. When you scold yourself, you plant seeds of fear and inferiority. When you encourage and forgive yourself, you plant seeds of confidence and resilience. Compassion does not mean indulgence. It means understanding yourself deeply enough to guide yourself gently in the right direction without harm. When you make a mistake, say, "I was wrong, but I'm still worthy of learning and love." When you fail, say, "I haven't succeeded yet, but I'm growing every day." This isn't self-deception, it's the true practice of nurturing the mind. Look at your inner world as you would at a child. When the child is afraid, you hold it. When it stumbles, you lift it. When it's lost, you guide it. If all you do is punish, the child withdraws and stops moving forward. But when you speak with kindness, it grows stronger. The same is true of the adult mind. It only develops when nourished with gentleness. Practicing kind speech toward yourself is not difficult. Each morning, look into the mirror and say, "I am enough. I am worthy. I am becoming a better version of myself." When your mind feels tired, close your eyes, breathe, and whisper, "Everything will be okay." When you catch yourself judging, pause and ask, "If this were my best friend, what would I say to them?" That single question shifts you from judgment to compassion. One who speaks gently to themselves will never speak harshly to others, because they understand that words are streams of energy that pass through their own heart before reaching anyone else. When you practice speaking with kindness, you are purifying your mind. And when your mind softens, the world around you softens too. Become your own best friend, for that is the most stable foundation for a peaceful and happy life. The body is the temple that houses the soul, the vessel through which we experience the world and cultivate spiritual growth. The Buddha taught that body, speech, and mind are three karmic channels deeply interconnected. To calm the mind, the body must also be at ease. A weary, neglected body makes the mind unstable, the intellect clouded, and wholesome energy difficult to manifest. Caring for the body, therefore, is not an act of self-indulgence. It is an expression of reverence for life itself, a priceless gift bestowed by the universe. When you eat mindfully, rest sufficiently, and move with awareness, you are already practicing meditation through the body. Imagine the body as a temple. If the foundation is weak, no bell can ring clearly. If the body is exhausted, the spirit cannot shine. Nutrition is the first offering you make to this sacred temple. Do not see eating as the gratification of appetite, but as the nourishment of energy that sustains a mindful life. At each meal, view your food as a gift from the earth and sky, from the countless hands that planted and carried it. When you eat with mindfulness, you feed not only the body, but also gratitude. Movement, too, is meditation in motion. You need not force yourself into strenuous exercise. Just a mindful walk, a deep breath, a gentle stretch, or silent walking meditation can already clear your energy channels and restore vitality. When the body moves, the mind transforms. A flexible body mirrors a gentle and adaptable mind. But caring for the body is not only about eating and exercising, it is also about knowing how to rest. Sleep is the time when body and mind are reborn. When you sleep with peace in your heart, wholesome energy is replenished. When you sleep with tension, fatigue from today extends into tomorrow. Create a moment of stillness before bed, silence the noise, place your hand over your heart, breathe deeply, and offer your body a word of gratitude. The Buddha once reminded, "This body is the boat for crossing the river. No one can reach the other shore if they break the boat they sit in. Therefore, caring for the body is preserving the vessel of wisdom." When you live healthily, eat mindfully, move consciously, and rest with appreciation, the body becomes purified and the mind becomes luminous. This is not merely physical health, it is the harmony between body and the path. For one who understands the value of the body does not simply live long, they live deeply, as if each breath were a prayer for awakening. Nothing in life is permanent. Everything changes, that is the truth of impermanence. Seasons shift, bodies transform, emotions arise and fade, and life flows endlessly forward. One who understands impermanence does not fear change, but learns to move with it like a surfer who rides each wave to go farther. Stepping out of your comfort zone is not recklessness, it is aligning yourself with the natural rhythm of life. For if you cling too tightly to what is familiar, you miss the countless blessings waiting ahead. The Buddha taught, "All things are arising and passing in every moment." One who sees this truth sees the way. Life is a journey of experience. Every new thing you dare to try is not just a step outward, but a step inward, where you encounter yourself more deeply. Through new experiences, you cultivate flexibility, strengthen courage, and expand the boundaries of awareness. Like bamboo that bends with the wind and therefore never breaks. Those who adapt to change remain steady amid the ups and downs of life. To try something new is to learn the art of living softly, not allowing fear to break you. Daring to try does not mean chasing every novelty, but cultivating the spirit of curiosity and openness, the spirit of a true practitioner. Today, try learning a new skill. Tomorrow, try saying sorry instead of staying silent. Next week, try forgiving someone and notice how your heart feels lighter. Each small act is a step forward on the path of inner growth. For real change does not lie outside. It begins in how you see the world and yourself. Many fear change because they equate it with loss. But the truth is, even if you refuse to change, life will change anyway. You'll simply remain still while everything else moves on. Let yourself flow with the current, for within that movement lies the aliveness of the mind. Impermanence doesn't come to take away. It comes to teach us to let go and to grow. And soon you'll see that every change carries within it a lesson, an opportunity to renew yourself. When you step beyond your old limits, you don't just open a door to the world, you open a door to wisdom. Life will no longer seem frightening because you'll understand only the mind that knows how to adapt is truly free. To embrace impermanence is not to run from life. It is to begin truly living in every breath that is forever changing. In life, everyone longs to move forward, yet what exhausts most people is not the lack of dreams, but the burden of setting goals that are too heavy for themselves. The Buddha taught the middle path the way that avoids both extremes, neither giving up nor pushing oneself to exhaustion. The middle path is not a compromise with mediocrity. It is the art of balancing effort with tranquility, like the strings of a lute too tight, and they break too loose, and they lose tone. Life is the same. Goals set too high breed disappointment. Goals set too low lead to stagnation. True success comes when we learn how to tune the tension of our own mind. Setting achievable goals does not mean dreaming small. It means breaking a great dream into steps that can truly be realized. Each small action is a brick that builds the grand structure. If you only stare at the mountain peak and forget to take steady steps, you'll soon grow weary. But if you pause to breathe, to observe, to walk rhythmically step by step, you will reach the summit without losing your strength. The middle path teaches that it's better to go slowly, but steadily, consistently, and deeply, than to rush and burn out halfway. When setting goals, ask yourself, does this help me grow while allowing me to stay at peace? A right goal nurtures, it doesn't harm. It disciplines you without suffocating you. It drives you without draining your joy. The Buddha reminded us, no one can go far if they carry too much baggage. So don't let expectations turn into burdens. Be gentle but firm. Every small step completed is a victory of will. Practice the middle path in the way you progress. When you work, give your whole heart, but when you rest, rest completely. When you make mistakes, correct them with understanding, not with self-blame. When you succeed, celebrate, but without arrogance. The middle path helps you keep the rhythm of life, where effort and serenity merge as one. And when you live this way, you don't just achieve your goals, you also learn to find joy along the journey. Life doesn't demand that you reach everything at once. It teaches you to love each stretch of the road. True success doesn't come from running faster than others, but from walking longer, steadier, and without losing yourself. So let the middle path be your compass. Set goals within your capacity, act, consistently adjust when necessary, and trust that every small step done with clarity and persistence will lead you to your destination. For the greatest achievement is not arriving early, but arriving whole with a calm heart and a smile still intact. Happiness is not the final reward of the journey. It is the energy that sustains every step along the way. The Buddha taught that joy does not come from the outside. It arises from a mind that lives truthfully with itself. When you do what makes you happy, it's not indulgence. It's honoring the natural essence of life, a stream of energy that must be nourished by joy, creativity, and gratitude. In Buddhism, joy is not a fleeting emotion. It is a serene, steady, and profound state that appears when you live rightly, act rightly, and love in harmony with your true nature. In the busyness of modern life, people often lose their freshness because they chase duties without pause. They work, earn, fulfill responsibilities, but forget how to smile. The world does not lack successful people, it lacks joyful ones. The Buddha called this the joy of mindfulness, the ability to enjoy life in each breath and each simple act. When drinking a cup of tea, walking in the morning sun, listening to birdsong, or reading a page of a book, you can discover quiet happiness. Such joys are gentle but powerful enough to soothe the mind and open wisdom. Doing what makes you happy does not mean living carelessly. It means choosing to engage with what makes your heart blossom. Do the work you love, even if small. Meet the people who make you feel lighter, not drained. Paint, sing, write, walk, plant trees, or simply sit still and listen to your heartbeat. These are also forms of mindfulness. Joy doesn't lie in what you do, but in how present you are while doing it. The Buddha once said, "One who lives with mindful joy no longer fears." When you feed your mind with positive energy, you naturally radiate light that calms the world around you. See joy as a flowing river within you. Don't try to hold it, just let it flow. Don't wait for time to be happy. Create happiness within the time you have. And remember, true joy is not about escaping suffering. It's about seeing through it and still smiling. Do fewer things, but do them wholeheartedly. Love fewer people, but love them with presence. Live slower, so you can see that happiness has never left. It was merely waiting for you to stop, listen, and smile at yourself. When you do what truly brings your heart joy, life itself becomes a living meditation where every moment is a wordless prayer of gratitude to existence.